What's up, guys? Wonderboy Robin here, and welcome back to more 9 hours, 9 prisons, and 9 doors. How we left off from meeting several other people that just got off the ship, and we're all realizing that we're all gonna die. It's like Titanic all over again. Well, without further ado, let's keep on playing. Alright, let's do this. Me too. I did too. Yeah, a door with a number on it. It soon became clear that each one of them had awoken in a room with a locked door and solved a puzzle to escape. They'd all end up in the same room, almost as though they'd been guided there. Oh, the dancer. Oh, sexy. Oh. Yes, we all saw the same thing. That's not important. We need to hurry. Y'all think I know that lady? Oh. Before the dancer had time to finish, Cyril was already running. He grabbed hold of the door labeled 5 and pulled it. Oh, however... Fuck! This ain't opening. This damn thing won't even budge. Ooh, heard the word. The mountain grabbed over his shoulder and tossed him aside. His path cleared, he took a few steps back, then threw himself at the door. Once. Twice. 3 times. 4 times. 5 times to complete the 5 door, dude. The door shook as his body slammed into it, but slowly no signs of breaking or opening. The mountain threw himself at the door again. And nothing. Junpei turned toward door 4. Yay. Next to the door on the wall was a small box. Bingot. It looked just like the one that he'd seen in his room next to that door. If it was the same then this door was likely locked as well. Still, he had to check. Junpei grabbed a handle and threw all of his weight onto it. It was locked, as tight as the door next to it as he'd suspect. Damn it! Junpei punched the door and it did not respond. Great, punch a metal door. Keep doing that, see how it works. What is going on? Were these doors? Oh my gosh, I can't speak. Were these the only doors he wandered? He barely finished the thought when the sea deck plate he'd passed on his way to spring upon. I can't read this part. His body moved before he had time to think. Junpei turned and ran back toward the stairs. Awesome, right where the water's coming, isn't it? He had scarcely taken a step when, at the top of the stairs next to an ornate clock embedded in the wall, he saw a person. Oh, she's cute. It was a girl. She looked to be the same age as Junpei. He froze, unable to look away from her face. He wasn't confounded by her beauty or something equally silly, nor there was another reason he couldn't take his eyes off the girl. Junpei had heard somewhere before. He couldn't quite remember where, but he knew he'd met her before. The girl too stared at Junpei similarly stunned. Her response suggested that she'd seen him before as well. Question. Dot. Junpei. Dot. Without saying a word, Junpei walked slowly toward her. She didn't move. It was almost as though she was held in place by some sort of magic spell. As Junpei stepped onto the landing, the spell broke. What? No sooner had he set the foot down than the whole ship shook a second time. Ooh! Ah! The quake caught the girl unprepared and she fell. Moving on instinct, Junpei leaped to catch her. Oh, things are gonna get cute in here. Oh, so he thought. Oh, never mind. Did he catch her? Her face was far closer than it should have been, more inches from his own. Oh. He was flat on his back and she had landed squarely on top of him. The girl seemed as confused as he did, and her face suggested she still hadn't fully recovered from seeing him. For a moment that seemed too stretched for a very long time, they stared at one another. The ship stopped shaking. Everything was quiet. Water could be heard from the bottom of the ship, lapping faintly at walls and ceilings, but eventually that faded as well. The water faded in the middle of the sea with a boat that's exploded, and it just stops. How does that even possible? The boat should be sinking, and they're here looking at each other while she's on top of him, riding him, and it's like, dude, come on, let's go. Jeez, we're trying to live here. Yeah, we're trying to live here. The silence was complete, a thick, muffling blanket. At last, the girl opened her mouth. Oh my gosh, is that you, Jumpy? What? Jumpy? Her words echoed through Junpei's head, and suddenly his memory returned. A Kano? Oh, high school, probably. He realized it before. The girl was Akane Kurushiki. She and Junpei had been friends in childhood. They'd come to elementary school together for 6 years. Oh, okay, never mind. But that was just she doing on the ship. What? Dang. But her soft eyes were only inches away from his own. He could feel the warmth of her face. Feelings he thought long forgotten began to work their way to the surface. He could feel the face heating up. At that moment, what happened at that moment? A speaker cracked to life and a cold, eerie voice filled the room.
Welcome aboard. I welcome you all from the bottom of my heart to this, my vessel.
With the voice invasion, the spell between Junpei and Akane was broken, and all hints of burgeoning romance instantly forgotten. They hurried to untangle themselves from one another and struggled to their feet. Their 7 companions had heard the voice as well, and many of their faces had gone pale. They looked around frantically, desperate to locate the source of the voice. At last, they found it. The speaker set in the ceiling.
I am Zero, the captain of the ship. I am also the person who invited you here.
The voice was harsh, obscured occasionally by the crackle of static, but Junpei recognized it. How could he have forgotten it? Oh. It was the same voice he had heard from the man in the mask. The man in the mask. The man in the mask. Man. Hey, asshole, what the hell is this? Come on, out of here. I want to look at you. What do you mean to do it to us?
I mean to have you participate in the game. Some of you, I know, are familiar with this game. The Norne game. It is a game where you will put your life on the line.
Norne game? What the hell is that? The voice continued, implacable.
The rules of the Norne game can be found upon your persons. They are simple rules. Read them.
You sure I can read them? All I can focus on something else. Anyways, Norne game. Hey, there's something in my pocket. Check this out. Zoro reached into his pocket and pulled out a small slip of paper. The rest of them reached into their own pockets and pulled out similar slips of paper. Junpei followed suit and dug into the pocket of his pants. He felt the telltale crumble of paper slightly damp from their... Oh my god. Hey, I got one too. Then it would seem Zero has been set fit to grace us with each letter. Would you mind terribly reading it to us, young man? He requested and had been delivered to Junpei, who after a short moment of surprise did as he had been asked. Alright, we're gonna read the paper. On the ship, you will find a handful of doors embolized with numbers. We will call them the numbered doors. The doors in front of you are a pair of the same. The key to open these numbered doors are the number bracelets that each of you possesses. Should you total the numbers on your number bracelets and find that the digital root of the number is equal to the number of that door will open. Only those who have opened the door may pass through. There are, however, limits. Only 3 to 5 people can pass through one numbered door. All those who enter must leave, and all who enter must contribute. Bracelet. Junpei figured how to mean the bulky thing on his wrist. He glanced around it. He looked like everyone else had it well and have come to some conclusion. Why can't they just call it a watch? It looks more like a watch than a stupid bracelet. The purpose of the game is simple. Leave the ship alive. Well, we're already gonna die with all this water. It is hidden, but an exit can be found. Seek a way out. Seek a door that carries a 9. Ooh, the 9th door. The 9th hour. And I guess one person leaves? I don't know. Junpei had reached the end of the letter. There was a long moment of silence, and the speaker crackled to life once again.
There is one last thing I must tell you. As you have no doubt, Sunrise, the ship has begun to sink. On April 14th, 1912, the famous ocean liner Titanic.
What a coincidence. I was honestly just talking about how this could have been like the Titanic, and look at the background. It looks like just like the Titanic, and he's talking about the Titanic. Alright, Illuminati! Anyways.
After remaining afloat for 2 hours and 40 minutes, it sank beneath the waters of North Atlantic. I will give you more time. 9 hours.
Ooh, that's where the 9 hours come from.
That is the time you will be given to make your escape.
The voice finished, and the speaker went silent. Ding, ding, ding. The sound of the bell tolling echoed through the hall. Man, what do I get to play? There's so much talking. And it came from the dance hall adjacent to the stairwell. It took those assembled on the stair mere moments to trace the sound to an antique clock embedded in the wall. 7, 8, 9. The clock can count. Oh my gosh! The sound of the 9th bell faded away. The 10th never came. That meant the time was 9 o'clock, most likely 9 o'clock in the evening. When Junpei had peered out the window of the cell, he seen nothing but blackness. It had to be nighttime. If that was the case, then they would need to escape by 6 a.m. to the following day.
Now, it is time. Let our game begin. I wish you all the best of luck.
Should have that evil laugh in the end. The speaker went silent and did not speak again. Okay. Now we're gonna play, right? Silver yelled at the speaker with language coarse enough to embarrass the sailor, but the rest of the Junpei's companions were silent and deep in thought. Junpei too was consumed by his thoughts. There was a great deal that he didn't understand. Who was Zero? What was the Norne game? Why had he chosen to make them part of it? Was he a criminal who took delight in playing with his victims? Or did he have some other purpose? And why had Junpei been chosen as part of this insane game? Why had any of them been chosen? But one question was foremost on his mind. Why her? At Kane. They hadn't seen one another since elementary school. Why did she appear now? Coincidence? No, that seemed impossible. There had been a reason. He didn't know it might be, but there had to be a reason. Lion. Very well. The lion's voice seemed oddly loud in the silence. Standing around here won't do us any good. Best we get moving, don't you think? Get moving? Are you planning to open the normal doors? Hey, wait! Don't tell me you're actually going to do what this Zero guy says. No, that's not what I meant. The lion shook his head, mildly annoyed. I'm saying, let's find another way. After all, we haven't really examined this place yet. Yeah, and I want to play. We what? Dot. Alright. A clock. Their separate investigation finished, all 9 people returned to where they left one another. The result of their work was nothing. They were completely sealed in. They heard hard work had not gone completely to waste. However, they had learned a number of things as their source the parts of the ship they could reach. It seemed that they were confined to decks A and C. Hold up. C deck was far down as they would have able to go. However, the reason being, the water. That deck D was completely submerged. Strangely, however, the water had risen no higher than D deck. The flow seemed to have been stopped somehow, as evidenced by the surface of the water on D deck, which was smooth as glass. The prince knelt down and gently drew his hand across it. Perhaps the Zero fellow has used some sort of remote control to seal a watertight door down, lower down. He said that their limit was 9 hours. In other words, this water won't rise for 9 hours. The way you're saying we won't sink till then. Well, maybe be a little too optimistic. Point to wishful thinking. Now, there were 3 middle doors on C deck. A single door stood off to the side with 2 more, or with a wall facing the central staircase. None of them had numbers or verification devices. They were, however, locked like the other doors. No matter how much they pushed and shoved, the doors refused to move. The mountain and the lion threw themselves against them a few times, but no avail. The door in the black had a keyhole. We need a key. Just above it was a strange mark in the shape of a circle standing in dot. Where's Sora? We need him. There were 2 other doors on the C deck as well as, but there have been elevators such as each button had to lit with an upside down triangle. They tried pushing the button. No response. Apparently there was no power running to the elevators. To the left of the elevator door was a card reader. The card reader also had a strange mark on it. It looked like a lowercase h with a dash drawn across the upper stem of the H. Junpei stared at it for a while. This is the symbol of Saturn. It's an astrological symbol. Then, the mark on the door, the other door. I think that was the sun symbol. They had seen the symbol as on a deck. There was a door on either side of the stairs. The one on the left had a keyhole with a similar symbol engraved on it. This is an Earth symbol. It doesn't really look like an Earth, but alright. The horizontal line symbolizes the equator, and the vertical one represents the prime. Meridian. Junpei looked up at the ceiling. There was a great circle cut in, perhaps for a skylight or some glass dome, but it had been filled with gargantuan metal plate. The metal looked very solid. Anything short of an explosive charge was unlikely to damage it. There were several windows along both sides of the ship, or at least there had been. They too were covered with metal plates. In other words, we're trapped. All the exits go nowhere. Junpei was not happy. The girl with pink hair spoke up. Well, I'm sure they're going somewhere. We just can't open them. The mountain spoke. You don't know that. For all we know, they just open them to the walls, take us in circles. The prince did not agree. No, I'm sure they go somewhere. Otherwise, what point would there be? And we can open them. Well, two of them at least. Well, yeah, I go on number 5. I don't know about you guys, but hopefully the girl goes on number 5 as well. You mean the number doors? All eyes turned towards the doors with the numbers on them. The atmosphere in the room grew tense. Hey, wait a minute. I think I saw this earlier, but I don't think we should do that. The dancer moved in front of the doors as if to block them. We'd have to be crazy to open these doors. If we do that, we're doing exactly what Zero wants us to do. Suddenly, everyone began to speak at once. I agree. I don't. That's a terrible idea. We should just keep going. We should stay here and die in the water until 9 hours comes? Come on. We don't have any other way to open any of these doors. We should just wait. Someone's bound to find us. Yeah, I doubt that. We don't have time for that. And in 8.5 hours, the ship is going to sink. The clamor of the voices made it next to the impossible to determine who was saying what. Their arguments grew more and more intense until people were shouting and screaming at one another. This ain't gonna work. Junpei had remained silent, but at last he could take no more. Hey! Shut up! Shut up! They fell silent and all eyes turned to Junpei. He felt each stare burning into him, but he refused to flinch. Before we try and decide where we're going to go, there's something else we ought to do. What's that? We need to exchange information. We don't know anything about each other. I want to know who you guys are. Who you are, where you come from, why you ended up here. Do we have time for that? Do we have time for that? We are gonna die. We don't have time for this. Oh my gosh. Don't tell me you aren't curious too. Oh my gosh. They were silent. Some of them looked the other way or bit their lip or crossed their arms and stared at the ceiling. But one of them spoke up. It was Akane. I agree. I think Jumpy is right. Jumpy? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm talking about him. I just call him Jumpy. His name is Jumpy. Junpei. She pointed toward Junpei. We're childhood friends. We went to the same elementary school. Wait, stop. Don't tell us stuff we didn't ask you about. Zero's probably watching us right now. What are you gonna do if he listens in? Would that be bad? Hell yeah, it would. We don't know how much this bastard knows about us. Maybe he just picked a bunch of random people to the kidnap. If that is the case, then it'd be dangerous for us to let him know too much. As Zero knows where we are, we could go after our family. Maybe don't let him to get stuff, you know. But we still need to know what our names are. It's going to be hard to talk to each other if we don't have names. Alright then, we don't have code names. To him, apparently, it seemed like the obvious solution. Code names? Yeah, we'll each pick something. Like, I'll be 7. 7? Why are you 7? It seemed a fair question. The mountain stuck out his left arm. Cause the bracelet says number 7. Oh, I get it. Oh, I get it. Yeah, that's a good idea. He smirked. Awesome. Alright, I'm gonna be Santa. Any of you chumps know Japanese? No, well, San means 3, so I'll be Santa. Hold up. I'm gonna go for another 5 minutes because this is not getting anywhere. Let me just set up my timer. There we go. He smirked. Oh, wait, I already read that. Then your bracelet number. Yeah, it's got a 3 on it. Good job, Grandpa. Just like the mountain had done, Silver thrust out his left hand. Sure enough, the face of his bracelet read 3. Very well then. I'll go next, shall I? My bracelet number is 1. Given that, I think Ace seems appropriate. You'll be Tits. I'll be Lotus, then as damn it. Then, as I'm sure you'll all know, it was 8 petals. Which means, of course, that my bracelet number is 8. I would appreciate it if you would call me Snake. My bracelet number is 2. Since Ace has chosen cards, then I choose dice. Snake eyes, clearly, which is partially irrelevant given that I am blind. Blind? Really? He'd kept his eyes closed during their entire ordeal, which suggested something strange, but to hear it said so casually, here's another Brock for you guys. It was something of a surprise. Everyone seemed a little nervous at the prince's proclamation, but no one seemed to know how to react to it. There was one person, however, who didn't seem to be surprised in the least. The girl with pink hair. I want to be Clover. You know, like a 4-leaf clover. Good luck, right? Look at almost where she held out her left hand. The face of her bracelet showed the number 4. They had come around to Junpei. He held out his bracelet. Alright, my number's 5, so my codename is gonna be... Why have one? It's not like there's any point to it now. Damn, chef, I still over here. The dancer cut him off in mid-sentence. I mean, we all know your name already. You're Junpei. Oh, okay, I see. They all nodded. Akane stepped forward nervously. Then you should all call me by my name too. Because, I mean, it doesn't seem... Oh, it's Mountain. It doesn't seem fair to Junpei. Your thing is not cool for you to hide your name after you told us. Akane fidgeted awkwardly. Junpei decided he had to do something. What's your bracelet number? It's 6. Like, what the heck? She hesitated for a moment, then held out her left hand. As she claimed, the bracelet face showed a 6. Junpei looked at it for a moment and thought, alright then, why don't we call you June? June? Yeah, you know, it's like the 6th month of the year, so you're June. Jumpy. Akane kneaded her hands and looked up at Junpei, uncertain. He smiled back at her reassuringly. Are you good with that? Since she thought about it for a few more minutes, she seemed to come to a decision and gave Junpei a small nod. Oh, giving each other nicknames. Their names decided, Junpei ran over them quickly in his head. 1 was Ace. Okay, we're gonna have to remember this. 2 was Snake. 3 was Santa. 4 was Clover. 5 was Junpei's number. That's me, okay. Akane was 6, and Junpei had given her the codename of June. 7 was 7. Okay, that's gonna be easy. 8 was Lotus. That's gonna be a little hard. That meant that 8 of them, included Junpei, had revealed their bracelet numbers. But there was still 1 person left. Really? Oh, this guy. He was a man with glasses and hair like a bird's nest. He hadn't said anything since they met on the stairs, and he didn't look like the sort of person who would incline to conversation. Oh. His skin was pale, his breathing was heavy, and he was soaked with nervous sweat. His behavior seemed very suspicious, or perhaps simply emotional unstable. It was difficult to tell. Whatever the case, it seemed clear that he had only a fingertip's mouth of a grip on his sanity. The girl with pink hair, Clover, walked up to him slowly. She put her hands on his hips and eyed him suspiciously. What number are you? He didn't answer. His bloodshot eyes switched from person to person and his breath came into hot pants. Hey, I'm talking to you. The man licked his dry lips with a shaking tongue and spoke with a voice like odd paper.
It wasn't obvious. There are 9 people here. And you know the numbers 1 through 8. I'm the only one left.
So you're not?
Yeah.
He extended a trembling arm. The bracelet did indeed say 9. Clover looked at it contemptuously. What's your code name?
Code name?
What do you want us to call you? We all made up names. You should too.
I don't need one.
Why not?
But because I'm not going to stay here with you.
We took a short breath and exhaled. Clover looked at him with some very disgust. You've got a sort of plan.
I do.
Yeah, what's that?
You sure you want to know?
Yeah.
Alright, let me show you. I am going to do this.
What? Aya! What is going on? By the time they realized what he was doing, it was too late to stop him. The man's body moved like a snake's. In the blink of an eye, he had slid around here and wrapped his arm around her waist. Hey! What the hell do you think you're doing? Silver, Santa leaped forward toward Clover and the 9th man. He was halfway there when... Stay back. Ooh, his voice changed. Suddenly, the man's hand dove into his pocket. Whoa! We got a violent person on the ship. It came back with a knife. A pocket knife. He held it to Clover's pale, quivering neck. If you're gonna get any closer, I'll cut her open. Santa skidded to halt. He snarled at the scrawny man with the knife that gritted his teeth. Yes, that's right. The man's smile was neither friendly or reassuring. Sweat poured down his neck, soaking the collar of his shirt. Oh, how do you say his voice? I forgot his voice. Oh, yeah. Clover, you're right. The Prince Snake's voice suddenly oddly concerned. Yeah, I'm fine. You sure you're fine? He's pointing out a knife at you. You're saying you're fine? Oh, I don't think so. Her voice shook, making her words even less convincing. What the hell are you trying to do? I told you. This is my plan. Well, what are you even gonna do, you sick son of a bitch? Just don't worry. I'm not going to do anything to her. If it's just does what I tell her to, I'll just let her go. He started to move back slowly to keeping her in a grip, Clover. Alright guys, I'm going to end this right here. I'm running out of time. I went a little bit over the time for you guys. I honestly did not get any gameplay, but just, you know, all this dialogue and stuff like that. But I hope you guys enjoyed. It's getting really intense as not only we have to face 9 hours of trying to get out of the ship, we also have to face with the killer that's on the ship with us. So, yikes. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys again soon. Wonder Boy Robin, signing out.